Hey, welcome to the Roaming Holiday Podcast. So, pursuant to last episode, where I was having this problem with my boots, turns out the polyurethane in boots, when it breaks down and gets wet, can make an ammonia smell. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, your boot smells like a cat peed on it. So I managed to find, here in Taipei, this stuff called germ killer. It's the only deodorizer I could find. Finally found a little spray bottle at 7-Eleven. And it occurred to me that I don't know how much I'm trying to deodorize germs, because this is more of just this weird ammonia breakdown smell. But it seems like it works. That stuff actually, it's not nearly as harsh smelling even as Febreze. Febreze is a very awful death smell to me. This stuff really didn't smell that bad. And it seems like it more or less worked. My boots don't smell too terrible. It's just creepy to know that the next time I get rained on, that's probably my future, is ammonia-smelling boots. And it's pretty clear right now, but I've seen two people already walking around with umbrellas. They could just be walking around, to shield themselves from the sun. But the weather is... Oh, there's the third person, literally just opened an umbrella in front of me. But the weather is still saying definite chance of some thunder later today and stuff. Random rain in the late summer, early autumn in Taipei is just how it is. So I got to assume that's coming in my future. Yeah, there's another person with an umbrella. It's just too many. There's another one. Too many people that just have umbrellas at the ready. It's eerie. But right now, it's pretty nice. There's some clouds, but they're nice fluffy clouds and beautiful blue sky. It's looking pretty good. So I got a plan. I got an adventure. So it's funny how this came up. Obviously, my ultimate adventure is Yangmingshan National Park. And now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm up and at 'em and it's only noon. From what I can gather, it would take me about 2 hours to get to Yangmingshan and then 2 hours to get up it. Because my other plan will also take me about 2 hours to get to. But maybe I should... I've been having such a hard time with my sleep schedule lately, and it's just been tough to get up early and go to bed at a reasonable time. Last night I went to bed at 4 in the morning, but that's a reasonable time compared to 7 or 8 in the morning. Yeah, maybe today I should go to the national park. It's not going to get better than this. I'm awake early enough. The weather's good. I mean, again, I might get rained on, but I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, the other plan is a place called Queen's Head, and it's way over to the east of the national park, on the east coast of Taipei. And it's this part of the land that juts out from the coast. And it seems pretty cool. And there's a bus that goes there that is, takes a while. But it seems pretty doable. But I'm thinking now all of a sudden, because that's the kind of thing that I could get started a little later in the day, because it doesn't really matter if the sun's going down when I'm at the Queen's Head, because I just got to get on a bus and come back. I guess stay tuned. I'm coming up to a subway station here. I guess we'll see, right? I guess we'll just see where I go. But those are the two prime suspects for adventure. The Queen's Head and Yangmingshan National Park. I can't remember the name of the main peak here in Taipei, but it starts with a Q. So I'm sure I can figure it out when I get there. The Q one. All right, Yangmingshan it is. So this has been a pretty easy journey, because the Queen's Head place seems really cool, and I'm going to go there for sure at some point, but it is a way longer bus ride, big long bus ride, way across to the eastern side of Taipei, where this one, man, no problem. So I went to Beitou Station, Boubeitou, and then from there, I believe there's like a shuttle bus that comes up here, but I wasn't quite sure where to catch it, and it seems like it comes a lot less frequently. Same thing with Queen's Head, they both have shuttle buses, but I don't know how much it matters because Taipei just really isn't that big. So in this case, I took the 2:30, just happened to get there just in time, just in the perfect time. Went across the street to a family mart, bought some water, some dried fruit, just as the bus was leaving. And the buses, they're kind of like smaller, sort of not quite half size, but not quite 3/4 size. But anyway, smaller buses, which seems appropriate because it was a little bit full as we left. But by the time we got up here, it was me, 2 other white tourists, and 1 Asian lady, and that was it on the bus. And yeah, it didn't take too long. What time is it now? Yeah, it's only 1:30 right now. So this whole journey took me an hour and a half. Not too shabby. Man, there are a ton of buses up here. Mountain of buses. And it was kind of cool because, yeah, I mean, again, like I said, Taipei's pretty small. So as we were going along, we got up to the sulfur pit. What's it actually called? The sulfur springs. And it was a lot cooler in a bus, really, than it was getting there on foot, because you just get to go by and look down into it and you see the sulfur spewing up out. Whereas when I got there on foot, it was a very awkward, uncomfortable walk, because I had to walk down one of these little super narrow mountain roads where there's no real pedestrian space. A lot nicer to just stop by on a bus, and then I could have got off if I wanted to, but I kept on going. And then you go up and up and up into the mountains, and I was like, you know, this is so weird because I've been here, like I'm connecting back up to where I've been on foot, but how is this possible? Like I'm way up in these mountain roads looking down at these amazing views of Taipei, but this is a different route than I took before. But then it all connected up where I realized I was going past the mountain with the really cool view of Yangmingshan, with the area where they planted all the cherry trees for the emperor back in the day. Miaopu? Yeah, that's the one. Miaopu. Where when you come out at the southern end, I was like, oh, this is actually a bit awkward, this weird little road that I'm on. Well, I was on that weird little road now on a bus, and then that connected up to how I had first gotten there, which was the top of the Tianmen Trail with the area with all the monkeys. Anyway, it all connects up, and now I'm back at, for some reason, a post office is like the most prevalent thing around here. I'm glad I bought, I mean, it's a little town, but I'm glad I bought convenience store snacks and water before I got here, because I don't know, there must be somewhere around here that you can buy that stuff, but I don't know where. So anyway, from here, there's a little tunnel that goes under a road that I explored when I was up here last time that then leads into the national park. So I guess that's where I'm going. I'm going back. And I mean, I guess the main thing here is like the peak, the big main peak. But there's so many weird little items and stuff on the map, and it is a whole national park. I have a feeling the peak, you know, if I just do the peak, hey, that's great, I can check it off the checklist. But this does seem like the kind of thing that there's bound to be a lot more stuff, a lot more areas to check out, a lot more stuff to do. And yeah, it was super easy to get here. No problem at all. Nice and quick, nice and fast, nice and easy. Sweet. It's actually kind of a nice feeling being back here. Like, it's cool that I got here on foot. Like, I did this. Sort of, this is a little bit like when I was walking around the outside of Jeju. And, you know, I would just take the bus back to where I ended off the day before. So it technically I walked the whole outside, but in pieces. This kind of feels that way too. Like, I would feel kind of disconnected if I had come straight here. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do that, it's fine, but it's just neat that I have a way better sense of where I actually, like where this bus actually took me. It's like, oh, there's the sulfur spring, I was there. Oh, here's the bottom of, looks up name, impossible to remember, Miaopu. It's like, oh, I've been here too. And now I'm right back here at this little bus stop, bus depot, where I also was. This is the day I saw a monkey, speaking of monkeys. It was right after I saw a monkey, I came here. So now I'm just continuing on the journey. And yeah, early in the day, still very clear. This is an idiot's last words, but everything seems like it's going pretty well. I don't know how could this go too badly? And this peak, pretty high up, 1,000 meters, almost 1,100, I guess. But it really all depends on just the setup, how things are laid out. I mean, 500 meters in Okutama is terrifying because it's so steep and it's just straight up and straight down. Where theoretically, if 1,000 is a little more gradual, it won't feel like 1,000. It won't feel like a big deal at all. So let's see if that's true. All right, I'm at the Yangmingshan Visitor Center. So the trailhead to Mount Qixing should be around here somewhere. That's the Q mountain, Qixing. Much like an arcade game from the late 70s. When did Qix come out? Was it the 70s or the 80s? It feels like a 70s game. All right, yeah, this appears to be the entrance, but let's dawdle for a moment because this is going to be, I assume this is going to be up the whole way from here on in. You are here, Mount Qixing, East Peak, and Main Peak. Shit, yeah, 1,107 or 1,120. So about 1,100, but again, I don't know where I am right now. I don't know what the prominence is based on where I am right now, but I'm pretty high up in the mountains. I'm certainly not at zero. That's for fucking sure. No, here we go. Nice, okay, yeah, this is one of these things that I don't remember seeing this type of thing. Well, I did see a map like that once in Seoul on the way up. The first time I went up the side of Bukhansan, there was like a side view map of how steep it got. So there's one here, clinometric map. So from Yangmingshan bus station, which I assume is where I am, because yeah, there are also, I've noticed, bus stops around here. So you could, not that it was far from where I was, but there is a bus that goes even a little farther if you want to come straight here. 400 meters I'm at already. So yeah, that's not bad at all. I only got 600 or 700 more to go. That's totally normal. I've done this before. Should be no biggie, but it did rain just a little bit. And I do remember seeing on the weather website today that the heat warning has finally passed. That official heat warning is gone. However, today it did say extreme humidity. And I wasn't noticing that too much until the little bit of rain sprinkled down. And yeah, now I am sweating like crazy. It is humid town. So whatever, I got 2 bottles of water and a bottle of tea. I should be fine, but it's gonna be a little rough. But we're here. It's early in the day. This seems pretty likely that this is going to go all right. Oh, and I guess specifically I'm at Mount Qixing Hiking Trail Miaopu entrance, Miaopu. So yeah, I mean, it is a big ass mountain. I'm sure you can approach from many sides. Miaopu. But anyway, a couple little things I noticed, washroom related, weirdly. There's a lot of ants around here, tons of little ants. But it's funny that down by where I first stopped, by the post office, the washroom down there, it did have a nice Western style toilet, but for some reason there were ants all over it. I've never seen that before, just crawling all over the seat and all over the toilet itself. I don't know what they found on the toilet. Something led them up there and they're excited about it. I mean, I don't know. I guess the obvious thing would be like maybe ants like to eat poop, but I've never seen that before, and the toilet seemed fine. It didn't seem like some kind of gross toilet, so I don't know. That's weird. But then I found sort of a unisex washroom, so I used that instead. Like, oh, nice, because I don't want to fight the ants. And then up here at the visitor center, I didn't even need to use the washroom again. I just stopped in to wash my hands because there was no soap down the hill. But I noticed here, there's a couple squat toilets, of course, but then there were a couple of Western-style toilets. But I've never seen this either. They were labeled Muslim friendly. Now I know nothing about being a Muslim. Not anything, like literally pretty much nothing. So I thought, maybe is that just, I don't know, are you just not meant to squat? Is that not cool? Do they need to have Western style toilets? But then I saw it had a little cartoon of the bidet thing, the little cartoon water spraying a little cartoon butt. And I was like, oh, maybe that's what it means. Maybe it's totally not acceptable to not, that seems more likely. Like, maybe you don't need a bidet specifically, but it's probably, seems like it'd be uncouth maybe to not wash your butt after you use the bathroom. I feel like every culture should feel like that. I don't know why North America doesn't. But I don't remember ever really seeing a bidet in Taipei. They're pretty rare in South Korea, and yeah, I don't think I saw any here. So I did go in to take a little gander since no one else was around anyway. I'm like, let me explore, let me check this out. So it's not like a bidet attachment like they have in Japan, or very occasionally in Korea. It was just like a little garden hose attached to the wall. And it's like, all right, well, I guess so. I guess that'll do. I would not complain. Better than nothing. But yeah, Muslim friendly. I've never seen that before. A little bit interesting. And all right. Yangmingshan Scout Center. It keeps saying like entrance and trailhead, but I don't know, I'm just walking along a road. I'm still not actually sure that I'm going the right way. Well, there's some green dotted lines coming up ahead of me on Google Maps. Yeah, man, there's bus stops all along here. Cool. But yeah, heading toward a green dotted line, and I'm walking up. Sure signs of going up a mountain. And it is distinctly more overcast now. So I guess that could be how this could fail. If it hits a level of rain that is uncool, that could be a problem. Here we go. A bunch of locals that are properly equipped with bags and stuff. And some other foreigners just walked by me who didn't have shit, just like me. Let's go. Yeah, I did just always assume, especially based on South Korea, that like hiking poles, you probably should have those if you're a serious hiker, because everybody has them. But they really don't work for me, even on Bukhansan, which was really steep and rough sometimes. My bad shoulder, it just doesn't work well to transfer the weight onto my shoulders with hiking poles. But also, I mean, they can kind of help you keep your balance and stuff if you want to stay standing upright. But I really have found that even on Bukhansan in the winter, even some of the like snowy parts that were quite steep, I found the on all fours method just worked better. Instead of using hiking poles as extended hands, just crouch down and use your hands. And it's just like a lot more flexible. You can grip stuff. And you're lower to the ground. Your head is just down by the ground. You can't really fall when you're in a crab position. And poles get in the way of the crabbing. So yeah, I'm actually not a big fan of hiking poles. But all right, it looks like I'm on the trail for real. Wish me luck. So I'm almost halfway. This is kind of handy because there's little distance signs. So it's 2.4 kilometers distance-wise from the bus. And there's little markers here and again, but of course it's uphill the whole way. So, 2.5 kilometers, not that bad of a walk. Just uphill, just upstairs the whole time. But it is stairs the whole time. It's mostly big stone steps. And then occasionally, if it gets a little flatter and muddier, there's kind of like wooden slats to walk on. But yeah, it really is, I guess I should have expected this because everything has been very developed in Taipei in general. This is the most developed for hiking out of South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. I didn't think South Korea could be beat. It was extremely well developed hiking there, but Taiwan, it's even more so. And it's, I've run into some people. I've probably passed 8 people or so coming back down, which it really makes Mount Takao so crazy the more I think about it. What a weird, because this is also, like I said, there's a bus stop, a bunch of bus stops, and a big lodge, and there was a cafe down at the bottom, and now it's just steps the entire way up. I understand why Mount Takao is popular. There's not a ton of mountains, I guess, accessible from Tokyo, and it has an express train that goes right there. But it was so busy, it was fucking insane. I think it really is advertising works, if you really make people aware of your mountain. Because it's not even close. It's literally hundreds of times busier than any other mountain I've ever been on in my life. What a strange place. Because, this feels comparable, very easy to access. Maybe not as easy to access. And it's obviously, Taipei's a much smaller metropolitan center than Tokyo. I guess it's a number of variables that all add up. But I just feel like it shouldn't have added up like it did on Takao. Takao was so fucking nuts. This is still basically me by myself. Just some people here and there. I did see a mountain dog partway up who wasn't looking too bad. His fur could have used a little brushing. And he seemed very nice and stuff. He didn't, mind me walking by. But I'm not sure how domesticated these mountain dogs are. I wouldn't want to try to actually pet it or touch it just in case. But I did wish I had something to feed it. Where I know you're not supposed to feed the animals. It's not a good thing to do. Like the raccoons on Mount Royal in Montreal that aren't scared of people at all and are overweight. And it's a serious problem. Speak of the devil, here's some people coming down. Let me let them pass. Another guy with hiking poles. You certainly do not need hiking poles here. It's just steps. But I don't know. Again, other people. Oh, I'm exactly halfway. 1.2 kilometers of 2.4. But I think other people just have better shoulders than me. I have one of my shoulders in particular is very bad. Redistributing the weight is a terrible plan for me, but I guess maybe it's good for other people, even if you don't need the actual hiking pole, utility. Maybe just that weight distribution is better. I don't know. Oh, and here's my first fork in the road. So, Mount Qixing Main Peak. And Lengshuikeng. I don't know what that is. Lengshuikeng. But it looks like it's going back down. So no thank you. But I know you're not supposed to feed the wild animals. But it does feel different with dogs. It's a dog. But all I had was, I should have ate more. When I stopped in at Family Mart, I should have snacked on something there. I didn't really think to. As soon as I started hiking up, my belly was like, hey, by the way, asshole, if you're going to hike up a mountain, why aren't you eating something? So I ate my little dried mangoes that I bought, but all I had left were just these kind of dried candied lemon, or maybe it's lime, I don't know. Not really an appropriate thing to feed a dog, and I need those. So, but I kind of wish I had some kibble or something, some dog food. But again, I'm sure I'm not supposed to be feeding him. He didn't seem in terrible shape, and like I said, this is near a bunch of bus routes and people are going by all day. If it's appropriate to feed the dogs, I'm sure other people have got it covered. But it's just hard to shake that's a dog. That's supposed to be in your house. That's man's best friend. Oh, here is some, there's all these, the little informational plaques. They're still popping up. There was one about various, just that there's unique flora on the, it mentioned specifically too that just the way that this peak is set up, this side of the mountain, it's very humid all the time. But here's one about animals that live here. Red-bellied tree squirrel, harvest mouse, bandicoot rat, and Formosan giant flying squirrel. Huh. I don't know that I've ever seen a flying squirrel in my life, or if I have, I guess I wouldn't know, because if it's not in the act of flying, I wouldn't know what it's doing. But yeah, despite the fact that there's this one branch here, this one fork in the road, generally this is just a trail straight up to the top without any other real options to go anywhere. So it's interesting because if you just look on Google Maps to this national park, like there's a lot of things that pop up, different areas. But I have a feeling kind of for each goal, I think you'd have to specifically chart a course and plan to go to that place. Because yeah, once you're on a mountain, you're on a mountain. And it makes sense that there's just this one trail because obviously they don't want people fucking up the ecology. So it's like, just stay on the trail. Don't go wandering all around. So for today, yeah, I do suspect this is the plan. Just up to this peak, and maybe there'll be another way down, or maybe it'll be just back down this way. But yeah, this is pretty doable, pretty easy. It's kind of nice too, just because, you know, these other mountains were more severe, but I never technically made it all the way to a peak on Bukhansan, and probably never will because those peaks are insane. And I never made it up Halasan on Jeju, and that one again probably will never happen because it's 2,000 meters, and it's basically an actual 2,000 meters, you know, because that island, you know, is just an island. You start pretty close to the water. Here's some more people. And yeah, you had to plan it in advance and blah, 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 as I described when I was there. But I have been hitting this kind of run where whatever the biggest mountain is around, I don't go there. I don't quite make it. Or even something like in Okutama, you know. I went up a 500 meter mountain there and got scared, freaked the fuck out. But all the mountains around it were way, way bigger. So yeah, I don't have a history of making it to whatever the biggest mountain is. So it helps that here, the biggest mountain ain't that big. And yeah, this is nice and easy. This is so doable. Oh, wow. This is kind of reminding me of some of those mountains on Jeju where there's a distinct mist line. I can see it. I'm right beneath it right now. I'm sure I won't be able to see it as I get into it. But yeah, you can really tell. Oh yeah, now I can see the mist. Like I can visibly see it moving in the air, like blowing gently past. Wow. So whatever elevation I'm at now, this is exactly where the mist starts. That's fucking eerie, man. Here's another little trail, Mount Qixing Main Peak, East Peak, or Qixing Park. What the hell is Qixing Park? It's another name I didn't look up, by the way, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Alright, here's a map. You are here. East Peak, Main Peak. Oh, Qixing Park. I mean, it has a washroom, but I don't really think I need a washroom. I think I'm okay. Oh, and there's what this Langshuakeng thing is. It's just another trail entrance from the east side of the mountain. Yeah, this is pretty nuts, man. Because, yeah, Qixing really is right in the middle. So, yeah, it's like weird to look at this map and just how quickly, yeah, there's the trail entrance. Like how quickly I'm already like a third of the way, or a quarter maybe, but a decent amount of the way through this national park already. It's like, wow. So small, man. Taipei is so tiny. And yeah, so it seems like that Langshuakeng, that could be an alternate way down. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll take that just for a change of scenery, even though I'm sure it'll look roughly the same. Because then the other option is to keep going north to Shaoyukang Trail. And there are buses and stuff up there, but that looks a lot more, you know, nowheresville. That's not near civilization. Yeah, cool. And it's got that clinometric map. Oh, okay, so where am I now? I'm at 600 meters now. So yeah, it's 600 meters. Maybe not every day, but the way things are today, this is exactly where the mist starts. Crazy. Very, very weird looking. Hello. And there's a distance and time map. Wow, yeah, it's got how long it takes to get to all these places. This is like the best map I've ever seen in my life. Huh, and here's the notice for tourists. Okay, when hiking a trail, consider your own physical condition, plan accordingly, treasure our resources, do not interfere with or harm them, take garbage with you. Airplane going by, but I can't see it because it's too misty. Do not field wild animals or stray dogs. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I did the right thing. Watch out for poisonous snakes and wasps. Watch out for snakes. There's frequent rain in the afternoon. Bring rain gear. I do, in fact, have my umbrella and a disposable... I've been carrying around this disposable raincoat ever since Canada. My ma had it kicking around. She's like, somebody gave it to her, I guess. She's like, maybe you could take this on your travels. And yeah, I still never had to use it, but I got it. If there's a forecast of torrential rains or a typhoon, please keep off the mountains. Good advice, but this is the weird one. Prevent forest fires. Do not burn spirit money or anything else. Is this one of these betel gum situations? Is this something I've never heard of in my life? What is spirit money? I'm going to try translating the Chinese and see how it describes that. Because if I had to guess, maybe it's something to do with like incense, like if you're doing something spiritual that involves burning, that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. And yeah, obviously you don't want to be doing that shit just in case. But what does the translator say? Forbidden to burn paper money and any items to prevent forest fires. So that doesn't help a ton, except that I guess they are specifically referring to money. I don't know, is that something people do? As an offering or something, you burn money? I was not aware of that, but yeah, it's definitely good advice to not fucking do that for many reasons. Well, all right then, 600 meters. Mistville now, walking up into the mist. Man, these really are cool. So it's like these, just these stone steps, really well made, but they are just like made of natural rock. Like you got to appreciate this shit. This is like one of those plant a tree, even if you yourself never get to experience the shade, because future generations will benefit. Like you got to respect the past generations that built this fucking thing. This is awesome. And it's all misty, and it's just going up into the woods till I can't see the end of it. Endless steps. Fucking really beautiful. This is great, man. This is great. I hope I don't get rained on. And like they were saying on that sign, I mean, that's just something you gotta expect could happen. There's just no way around it. But this is another, for sure, worthwhile thing to do while you're here. I don't even care if there's no view at the top. Although I'm sure there is. I mean, if this is this well developed and it's the most famous peak, it's probably all set up for some kind of grand view. Though maybe not today with the mist. But yeah, who cares? Who gives a shit? Views are a dime a dozen in Asia. You can see an amazing view from anywhere. But just this actual trail up the mountain, this is super cool. All right, I'm only a little further along. I'm only just past the 1.6 marker of the 2.4 kilometers distance to the top. Going mega slow. Some people came by and I let them pass me because I just want to walk slow. Because that is going to be my true test for the day. It's like when I first start down at the bottom, it's like, whew, I feel pretty tuckered. This is going to be rough. But just like always, as I get going, I get into a nice, comfortable, very slow pace. And then it's not bad. I don't feel winded. My knee doesn't hurt, everything's great. It really is the way down, as I've said many times, but that's the true mental test of, it's easy to go slow on the way up. It's hard to go slow on the way down, but it so pays off. Man, does it pay off in the not destroying your knees situation. Hello. But I got to the first open area where I can see out beyond the trees, and I can't see shit. I can't see anything. It is just mist, just clouds out there. But I'm not complaining because, yeah, the sun is high in the sky above me, but it's, it's keeping that at bay. It doesn't feel too terrible today. It's kind of a nice breeze even now that I'm in the open air. And you never know. I mean, this could pass at any time. I remember on Gunsan, on Jeju, even when it was real, that was crazy up there, the swirling mist and stuff, that was like a portal to another dimension. Bugs flying around in it, that shit was really weird. even that, oh, speaking of, there we go. I just saw some mist its way in and float by. That is so eerie. I'll never get used to that. It's so crazy. Yeah, you can just see it. The mist is so thick. I can just see it blowing through these trees and blowing right by in front of me. Man, I just have never seen that in North America in my life. There were some days in Vancouver that were really, really foggy, but only in the very early morning, never in like the afternoon. And you could never like see it like this, like just see the physical motion of the mist in the air. But yeah, it's keeping the sun from being too insane. And I'm not getting rained on. That's really all I care about. Just because of the general uncomfortability of rain, getting rained on. And because, yeah, I'm very motivated to try to keep my boots dry. Now that I got them back to only being semi-gross. So yeah, I can't see nothing out there. It is, it's interesting, because even though I'm way up in the sky, I could be on a little hump that's 10 feet tall. And it would look like this on a foggy day. I can't see. It's just weird to know that down there somewhere is all of Taipei, is like probably the greatest view of all time. But nope, absolutely nothing. 0% visibility out there. But I don't mind at all, not complaining. That's just a bonus. And the true bonus is, yeah, not getting burnt to a crisp and not getting rained on. So, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, man. In fact, I'd say I'm getting 2 out of 2. I'm getting everything you really need. I like views. I like big, cool, crazy views, but they literally are everywhere. Even just on the bus on the way up here, looking out the window, I was like, wow, those are some views. That is some crazy shit. So yeah, this is fine. No problem. And this path, I mean, it's probably partially because of the mist. It makes it look like a movie set. I worked on a movie set once or a TV show set, literally for one day. It was very weird. It was just like a friend of a friend of a friend, you know, got me this job on the special effects crew. It was a show called Whistler that was about, you know, the ski lodge, but it was filmed. Was that like Burnaby? It wasn't technically Vancouver, but in that area. So yeah, it was kind of one of those 1 in a million, like I got to be on the special effects crew helping them make fake snow and stuff for one day. So if it had gone super amazingly, who knows, it could have been my way of worming my way into the movie industry. This was a long time ago, like 2005, 2006. But the main problem is I didn't have a license and still don't. And that's just not worth it, you know. This was like somebody's farm that they had rented way out in the middle of nowhere. So that day I got picked up and I got a ride there because they needed somebody that day. But in the long term, me not being able to drive, that's a deal breaker. But yeah, we worked for hours and hours and I got like double and a half overtime or something crazy. And meal penalties and all this stuff. It was like a huge paycheck for one day of work. And it was kind of fun. I kind of liked being on the special effects team. But it didn't lead to anything, unfortunately. Just a neat thing I got to do for one day. Anyway, at one point, they were doing this, like the fog machine stuff, just so that things in the background would look awesome on the TV show. And that's what this looks like, just naturally. So as beautiful as it is automatically, probably also because it's so humid here, so everything's just like a little droplets on everything. Everything's like a bit moist. It just kind of makes everything look extra green and extra pretty. And then also the mist, yeah, it just like gives weight to the air. And the sun shining down through the greenery. It's fucking pretty. And there's the traditional siren from somewhere down in the mist. Well, this is pretty eerie. So I'm at 2.2 kilometers of the 2.4, almost to the end. And yeah, I can see various peaks from here, just like a little bit above me. There's a peak, there's another peak, there's another peak. Like, you know, I'm not great with distances, but they're like 20, 30 meters above me, like very close. And yeah, it's kind of weird because the weather is all the weathers right now. Now I can see blue sky on one side and clouds that are, thankfully, the big fluffy beautiful clouds are right across the sun right now. That might not last though. And then on the other side is mist, so there's only mist on the east side. And the mist is flowing across these peaks over on that side. But yeah, this is just eerie because I know conceptually, if I'm this close to the top, I'm 1,000 meters up. But I'm almost walking through like the plants are so tall here. There's like still the stone path and the stone steps, but the plants are taller than me on either side. So I'm just walking through like a cornrows or like a hedge maze, it almost feels like. But I can see these peaks. Yeah, 0.15 kilometers to the main peak of Mount Qixing. So it doesn't feel like I'm high up at all. You know, it feels like I'm just by these little 30, 40 meter peaks. But conceptually, I know I'm 1,000 meters up. So that's like weird, but just on a purely like me freaking myself out level. I have zero reason to feel a fear of heights right now. There's nothing. I'm like ensconced in these tall plants and I can't see anything but some peaks around me and there's nothing scary looking. But I know beyond those peaks, it goes way down. But it is amazing what difference it can make. Because I mean, I don't actually feel a fear of heights. It's purely just a thing in the back of my mind that is like, well, I just probably don't think about that you're 1,000 meters up. But it's real easy not to think about it. Where Okutama's been on my mind just because the way the release schedule of this podcast works, I just put out the episode where I went to Okutama. So it reminded me about that 500 meter mountain with the steps that were almost fucking vertical. And that like being on the top of that mountain, even though it was only half as tall as this, it felt like I was, in an old movie when somebody is standing on a ledge outside a building, standing on a ledge outside the Empire State Building or something, waiting for Superman to rescue them or whatever. Like it almost felt like that. It felt like I was clinging to the side of a building because that mountain was so steep and so severe, where this one is so gentle that I'm twice as high up, but I don't feel nothing. I don't feel shit, except a strange, multi-layered, conceptual weirdness. The theory that I'm this high up is a weird feeling. The actual feeling, no problem. But yeah, it is interesting too how now that I'm on the top, the foliage has completely changed. It is just these really tall plants. Not a lot taller than me, but a little bit taller. So they're 7 or 8 feet tall on both sides. And now I'm just walking up the stone steps, but now in between. It feels like I'm in Alice in Wonderland or something. Like I'm just walking through some, again, like a weird hedge maze. It's pretty cool. Oh, and now the mist is drifting in straight onto me. Wow, yeah, weird, man. Weird stuff. Yowie wowie, so I'm at the top, I made it, and real heavy mist now, that thing where I could see blue sky on half the sky and then half mist, it's fully mist again. I wonder if I'd gotten up here a little sooner on that one side that was clear, would I have been able to see down? I don't know, anyway, I'll hang out here a bit and see if it clears up, but I'm not counting on it. But I bet this would be fucking amazing if you could get up here. I don't know how likely it is to get up here on a clear day. Seems pretty unlikely, but there's one of those nice signs. A distant view of mountains and waters in the Taipei Basin. Taipei is a beautiful city thanks to its proximity to mountains and the sea. Yangmingshan National Park, known as Taipei's backyard, consists of undulating terrain with soaring peaks. And when you climb those peaks, you're rewarded with views of the mountains and seas around the city. Your present location is the peak of the highest mountain in the park, Mount Qixing, which gives you the best vistas of the mountains around the city and the rivers that flow through it. If the weather's clear, your vision will extend to the elevations that define the Taipei Basin, Lingkou Plateau, and Mount Guanyin to the northwest, and the Datun volcano group to the north. You will also be able to see the Keelung River and the Shindan River as they come together to form the huge Danshui River, which winds like a serpent to the sea. Sometimes, at the extremity of your vision, you might even be able to see Mount Shui, Snow Mountain, Mount Dabajayan, and other high peaks. Try and see how many other places you can identify. And they should hire me. They should have like a little button you can press so that spurts out that shit. But anyway, I can't see any of that stuff. But there's a picture of here's what you could see theoretically. And yeah, I bet it's fucking amazing. Like you can probably see a full panorama. Well, of course you can, right? It's the highest mountain. What am I talking about? There's nothing in the way. This is as high as it gets, bro. That would be fucking cool. However, like I said today, nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Just missed. But this wasn't that hard to get to. And like I said, the walk itself was fucking great. But I don't know. Unless it's like the clearest day of all time, I'm not going to necessarily try to come up here again on a clear day. You know, I'll keep it tucked away in the back of my mind. If there happens to be a day that is like clear out of a small child's birthday wish, then maybe. But it's also interesting about how I was noticing that the plants at the top are completely different. Apparently, if I was to continue north and go all the way there, it changes once again. I won't read the whole thing this time, but basically, the southern slopes are covered with a dense broadleaf forest and a high diversity of wildlife, while the northern slopes are strongly affected by the northeasterly monsoons. They're covered primarily with grasslands. So actually, maybe they do look kind of like what I'm seeing now. Beside the trail at nearby Xiaoyuken, you'll find landscapes formed by post-volcanic features such as steam vents, fumaroles, and sulfur crystal formations. I did notice at the bottom that it smelled pretty sulfury. I'm glad that didn't last. There's a guy on his phone up here as well, the beauty of nature. Anyway, I guess there actually are, people showing up, hanging out, talking on phones. Maybe I won't hang out here too long because I don't think it's going to clear up. It is 100% mist everywhere around, but people talk so loud on the phone. It's so funny. You know that the phone on the other end, right? It's right next to that person's ear. It's like the closest. It's like you're talking right into their ear. You totally don't need to talk loud. Same thing if you're on Xbox Live and you're playing fucking Gears of War and you're a loud, yelly person like an old housemate guy that I had in Vancouver. That guy needed to shut the fuck up. But anyway, if you know Chinese, feel free to eavesdrop. And that's the report. That's the report from the top. Okay, I guess he's done on the phone. Anyway, so I'm not going to continue on north because I don't quite know what's down there, and I don't totally know. You know, there's buses and stuff, but I'm going to head back the way I came a little bit, and then break off to the east. Because there seems like there's only really 3 trails. There's the one from the south that I took, the one from the north that I'm avoiding, and one a bit to the east. So I'm going to take that on the way down. So I got one more kick at the can, one more bite at the apple. The east peak, I think that was the south peak I was at. So the east peak is very close by and is almost as high. And there was like a little break in the fog for like a second. I could see, it was weird because I could see a peak in the distance, but then the fog in the valley between the peaks made it look like a lake kind of. But I've got, again, one of these signs that shows what you're supposed to see. There is no lake. That doesn't exist. But I kind of got to see the distance for a second, you know, at 15% visibility or something. Again, creepy airplane. I can't see you, airplane. Let's see if I can spot it at any point. But it really is foggy up here. No, I can hear that the thing's right above me now. I can't see anything. Wow, it's scary. Not scary to me, I'm thinking more that would be scary if you were like an ancient person. You'd be like, what the hell is that? But yeah, what I'm supposed to be able to see from your present position on the peak of Mount Qixing, you have a view of the coastal landscapes and settlements of Ximen. Again, this is so weird because it's Ximen, S-H-I-M-E-N, where the neighborhood I love so much, X-I-M-E-N, is also pronounced Ximen. I wonder what the difference in the pronunciation is. Jinshan and Wanli, bringing to mind the economic activities and the pioneers of times gone by. Look further in the distance and you can see Keelung Island, Hoping Island, and Mount Keelung, along with the city of Keelung and the mountain towns of Nianyun and Juifen. How many of these places can you identify? None. Oh, wait, there we go. It opened up again a little bit. Yeah, that is so eerie. So yeah, I can see some buildings way in the distance across this valley and across another mountain range. But yeah, in the middle, the fog is just pooled in the middle. That is so cool. It literally looks like a lake made of clouds. And now there it's covering over again. Holy shit. So that's neat. Even if you come up here on a very cloudy day and you don't get the traditional view, yeah, I'd say definitely hit both peaks, maybe, dawdle around a little bit, because that was neat. That only lasted for a second, but that was really cool. Oh, here we go. It's opening up again. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's fucking crazy looking. So I can just see like a band of mountain ahead of me with some buildings beyond that. Quite a few buildings. What direction am I looking in right now? I don't even know. But yeah, down in front of me, it's all just a lake of clouds, which I'm sure there must be a song called that, if not many. But yeah, I bet this would be cool though on a clear day, because yeah, this theoretical image of what you might be able to see, pretty rad. Oh, and there's clearing up again. Yeah, this is nice. This is really neat. Definitely this particular side. Wow, that is cool. I don't really know how to describe a mist lake. Yeah, I guess a cloud lake is wrong. It's a mist lake. But it kind of just looks like if a lake was full of cotton gauze, but darker colored, not necessarily white. It's actually quite gray. Neat, man. Fucking cool. Anyway, the other thing is I should mention the time. So it's 4:15. So if you just decide, as I did, it was a little bit after noon where I just suddenly decided, wait a second, maybe I should come to Yangmingshan. From what is essentially a random subway stop, I had to go 10 or 12 stops to get to Beito, which is about how much it would be from almost anywhere. So if you're just by a random subway stop around noon and you decide, what the fuck, man, let's do it. Let's go up the biggest mountain in the national park. About 4 hours later, here you are. And I went slow, bro. I went so slow. I think, I guess I can't say I was the slowest, because if someone else was coming up behind me at a similarly slow pace, I would never know. But I had to have been among the slowest people going up that mountain, because that's what I like to do. As you can hear right now, I'm not out of breath. I'm not worn out. I hate hiking at a fast speed. I fucking hate it. It's miserable. It makes your legs burn. It makes your chest hurt. It's not fun. But if you just go slow, you'll still get there before you know it, because it's really not that big a deal to walk up a mountain. Still blows my mind, but it's true. And then you'll get there and you'll feel fine. But now my quest is to continue to feel fine on the way down, which is a lot more mentally taxing. Gotta not let gravity take over. I gotta keep myself focused and walk at a similarly gradual pace. I mean, inevitably I'm gonna walk a bit faster because it was so slow on the way up. But I just gotta make sure I keep things copacetic. Gotta make sure it's my fucking muscles doing the work, not gravity. And that will spare my poor knee. Yeah, it's kind of neat now. Looking down, Well, let's see. Wait, this is sending me to Qixing Park. Is that right? Do I want to do that, or do I have to go somewhere else to get to, what was the other one called? Langshuikang. Okay, yeah, no, this is okay. If I follow the path toward Qixing Park, before I get to that park, I can split off. Maybe. What the heck? The little green dots don't connect up to Langshuikang. Well, I guess we'll see. As I go down that way, either I can go to the Langshuikang entrance, try to catch a bus, or if not, I'll go to Qixing Park, which just will connect me back up to the original trail I was on. Yeah, actually, that's interesting. What the heck is that? Looks like actually I think I have to go down past the park, then to this trail to Langshuikang. Actually, Langshuikang seems like a bad plan. It's almost the same walk most of the way, but it'll just take me to some weird bus stop that I don't know about. So actually, forget that. I'm going to go back the way I came because I know which bus to take to get home. But there is some kind of a weird path from over by this Langshuikang entrance, a little north of it, that, yeah, it doesn't go all the way. Goes to a theoretical photo spot if indeed the weather is clear. Oh, and it looks like there actually is a lake in there. Dream Lake Ecological Reserve. And Men Xuanhu Lookout. There's also some green dots that go not all the way there, but very close. Well, so there's a bunch of stuff on the east side to theoretically look at and check out. But yeah, I think in both those cases, maybe the north and the east. Should I do that stuff? We'll see. It's not high on my priority. I did it. I don't need to necessarily come back, but if I do, yeah, I think instead of going down to the east or the north and just trying to figure out how that all works with buses and stuff, I would prefer to come in that way. And then I would know how it worked for the exit. So yeah, today, fuck it. Let's go down through this park. It's still a partially different walk back to the park. I can pee out all the tea and fucking water I've been drinking. And then head on down. But yeah, this is kind of cool too from up here. I can look down and it's so misty immediately. I can barely see at all ahead of me right now. But I can see down into the cornfield maze, into the hedge maze looking trail that just cuts right through these tall plants. Looks pretty cool. And yeah, I got a bit of a view. I got to see a sea of mists. I ain't never seen that before. Which is to say, I have not seen that before. I hope no one's trying to learn English by listening to this podcast. Because if so, you're going to have too much swearing in your vocabulary. People don't like it. Warning to the wise. So I realized right before I left that peak, I was like, oh, because I was yammering into this recorder, I never think about pictures while I'm talking, obviously. And especially in this case, because the sea of mist was, the lake of mist was just like brief, very brief. But it did happen like 3 times. So I was like, oh, wait a sec. Let me see if I can get a picture of that. I mean, it probably wouldn't work with my whack-ass little crappy outdated phone camera. But I was like, let me give it a try. But I stood there for like 3 or 4 minutes, just waiting, and it never came back. So it really is lucky. Just the luck of the draw, what kind of view you get. Like even that I saw that was very lucky timing, because yeah, the mist since then has been total. But yeah, going down this other trail from the east peak toward the park, toward Qixing Park, this would be incredible on a clear day. How on the other one I was saying like, oh, there's a little opening in the trees and I can see out a little bit. This is just amazing theoretically. Like you can just see out ahead of you for like a huge stretch of this. All I can see though is mist. But this would be big time worth it on a clear day. Holy shit. I'm just like, I'm imagining what it must look like and I'm gobsmacked a little bit. Of like, this would be insane. instead of being under the canopy or inside the tall, in between the tall plants. This is just walking down. Again, it's still just stone steps. It's real easy, but right on the side of the mountain. And yet still, not steep, not scary. Nice and cash. And a perfectly clear view out into the mist. This is actually making me think maybe I should move this up in the priorities a little bit. If it does seem like an actual clear day, which again, I don't know how often that ever happens here, maybe I should go out of my way to try again. Because it's one thing, to get to the peak where again, I always have a hard time staying in one place and soaking it in. Like I'll still look at it for a couple of minutes and still get antsy to start moving. But this, holy balls, especially coming down it, coming up wouldn't be as good because you'd have to keep looking behind you. But coming down this way, fuck me. Like I would just be looking out at the majesty of Taipei the whole goddamn time. Or at least not the whole time, because now I'm passing down into the taller plant life again. But a really significant stretch of this is just wide open, perfect view. Shit, man. Like again, even in the mist, I'm impressed. What a cool mountain. 1,000 meters or 1,100. Nice and cash. Not too bad. Pretty easy to do. And still a significant mountain. Damn, dog. Damn. And I still can't get over the fact that I'm not getting sunburned to death. I got sunscreen on anyway. I'm not a maniac, but I'm not getting burned to death. And most importantly of all, I was a little worried when it rained, just a smattering of rain down at the bottom. But no more of that shit. Fuck you, rain. No rain at all. Isn't it weird how you pick up words from people or turns of phrase? Because I'm Canadian, so I probably share some vocal habits with Tom Green automatically. But I never used to say at all. I'd always just say at all. Nothing at all. But he used to say that, which is partially an Ontario affectation and partially just him trying to talk funny. Nothing at all. And when was Tom Green culturally relevant? It's been a long fucking time. But I bought Freddy Got Fingered the day it came out on fucking DVD. I saw that shit in the theater. I loved it. I've been saying at all for years. Man, going down is easier, quote unquote. I'm 1.4 kilometers up already. Jesus, so that's like, that can't be right. Am I halfway down already? Oh man, this can't bode well for my knee. I'm trying to go slow, but I'm clearly not. I'm just burning my way down because I don't know, man, gravity. It's pretty windy here, which is good because I was sweating my fucking dick right off of my face and balls and ass on the way up. So it's nice that I'm a little cooled down now. But I'm at Qixing Park, which, man, I wish I had looked up how to pronounce that before I came up here, just in case. Like Shindian Station, which I only figured out how to pronounce as I left for probably the final time. But this little park, Qixing Park, is worth it for sure. It's just like a little side sojourn on your way up. And it's kind of funny in a way because there's all these little places set up that are like probably amazing views. There's just like a bunch of them, and it's becoming like a bad joke that it's like, I can't see nothing. I can't see any views. It's all just mist. It's clearing up a little over there. You can see some mountain shapes, but it's still pretty as shit because this is cool. Like I can see the peak from here. I can't technically see the peak because it's too misty, but the way the mist is blowing across the mountain, it looks like it's spilling down the side of the mountain. And that's just cool. It's just, again, yet another mist thing I've never seen before. And it's just like, I don't know, I guess it's just like, I know, like when I was trapped back in Fredericton, New Brunswick during COVID times, I remember in the winter there, like I would just walk through Odell Park because it was like the only nature I could get my hands on. But in the dead of winter, in like these insanely cold days, I remember just looking at snow powdery snow falling off trees in this insanely cold weather. And just the way it drifted down, it looked like salt drifting down through water. But this was snow drifting down through air, and it really helps you understand that air is a thing, you know? I mean, it's like we're like fish, you know? It's like we're moving through, you can almost think of air like a liquid, like you're just moving through it and you're breathing it the same way a fish is moving through and breathing water. It's just, it's just a lot easier to pass through, a lot less dense than water. So this is kind of a similar thing of just seeing the mist spilling down the side of the mountain. It's just so much easier to conceptualize of, you can read about all this stuff and like densities and blah, blah, blahs and all kinds of physics stuff. But when you see it, it clicks so much easier of just like, oh, I don't need to think about the relative numbers and I don't need to think about the specifics. I just see it and I just know how it works. It's just like, cool, look at that. And what is this over here? It looks like, oh, there's a dog. Hey, doggy, sorry if I bothered you. This looks like a vending machine, but there's no way. What are you indeed, actually? It's some kind of emergency kit. I thought maybe it would be like for firefighting stuff, but I think it's for heart attacks. It's a heart shape with like hands at the bottom of the heart and a lightning bolt through it. So I think it's like a portable defibrillator. Yeah, and here's a cartoon at the bottom of someone doing compression stuff on someone's chest. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I was going to say there's no English. It's all in Chinese. There is one English phrase, automated external defibrillator. Handy. Not a bad thing to have. Good to know, I guess. Good to know. I suppose if you have a cardiac event and you're not exactly at this park, somebody's going to still have to drag you a ways, but at least there's something. Better than nothing. Oh, and speaking of dogs, there is the washroom here that I saw on the little map earlier. Oh, see, there's a doggy barking at me. I'm getting out of here. Sorry, doggy. But yeah, I just walked over to the washroom and both the men's and women's washroom door have dogs asleep in the doorway. And again, these dogs, they seem pretty nice. They seem pretty friendly. But I figure I don't need to wake up a dog just to pee. I've been pretty proud of myself with the amount that I normally need to pee that I haven't peed yet, but I'm just going to go pee in the woods somewhere. Just pee, it won't hurt nothing. But yeah, there's doggies. Oh, hey, there's one of the doggies. But no, that's a different one. The two that are guarding the doors of the bathroom are still asleep in here. And yeah, that reminds me a bit of one of my first encounters with wild dogs. Not the very first, but that one shrine up on Bukhansan, where I think the situation there was that there was a pregnant dog that I didn't see at all. And I walked a little too close to that dog. I didn't see any of the dogs. So then another dog started barking. Way more than that dog who just barked now. That dog in Korea, he was upset. I was like, whoa, sorry, I'm out of here. But yeah, probably if there's more people here, now that it's getting later in the day, there's just nobody here. I'm sure that breaks up the pattern of the wild dogs a little bit. But yeah, Qixing Park, that is a lot of dogs that were in there. I guess that's where they live. I guess that's where they hang out, next to the defibrillator. But yeah, I wonder, how desperate would I need to be for a washroom to risk trying to move a sleeping wild dog? I don't know. It'd have to be pretty fucking bad, because that sounds like a terrible plan. I think you just let the dogs do what they do, and if they're there, they're there. If they're not there, they're not there. It's like in an adventure game or something. It's just like, well, not getting past that without, what was the Monkey Island? I probably said this exact same thing in Korea. The Monkey Island puzzle, where you put the sleep flower in some meat and you throw it to some dogs. It's been a while. I don't remember exactly. Oh, and okay, that explains a bit. I thought that seemed weird. I was like, how am I getting down the mountain so fast when I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job of going slowly. But before I saw the sign that said I was 1.4 kilometers, but now I'm seeing another sign that says I'm 1.4 kilometers up. And it's because I'm back on the Miaopu route, my original route. So now I'm actually halfway down. It's because I was on a different route before. I was looking at Qixing, which is just apparently a shorter path. So that's what was fucking me up. The two trails have different lengths. Good. Because yeah, that was weirding me out. That was like a little warp. I'm like, there's just no way. That doesn't make any sense. I would be blasting my knees into oblivion if I was actually going down the mountain that fast. But it turns out I'm not. I just got confused about signs. All right, I'm coming to the bottom. I think I got about 0.6 kilometers to go. And it's a little after 5:30. And yeah, I guess probably partially because of all the mist today, but also just because the bottom half of this mountain is so canopy covered, it is getting pretty dark in here. And I did pass an older couple who were stopped at a bench a ways up there, quite a ways up. I don't know whatever became of them. Maybe they're still up there coming down behind me. There was a jogger who jogged up past me and then jogged back down. This would be all right. I always think it's pretty wild when I see joggers on mountains because I just can't do that with the flat feet and the bad knees, etc., etc. Shin splints. But this would be a pretty good place for jogging. It's a little slick because of the humidity and the moisture in here, but pretty good steps for that. But yeah, besides that, I haven't seen anybody. Whereas on the way up, it is, it was pretty busy. There's quite a few people. So I think, I was quite proud of myself to be up and at 'em by noon today. But I do think I was a little slow, perhaps. That's probably also why such a concentration of dogs up at the park, because it's basically the end of the day now. Yeah, it's just very notable that I'm just seeing nobody, not a fucking soul. I'm here all by myself now. And again, it's fine. It's not terribly dark in here, but it's not terribly light. It's getting, I guess, pretty dark because it's that combination of the foliage overhead, the mist, and just that there's mountains all around. So a sunset will functionally happen sooner when there's mountains in the way. So yeah, I don't know, just thought I'd mention that. Getting out of here at 5:30. I mean, by the time I get down here and then down the next bit, back to the number 230 bus, it's going to be like 6 p.m. That is pretty late. Pretty late. If you can, if you're the kind of person with a reasonable ability to sleep, probably wouldn't hurt to get started a little sooner than I did, but it's still no biggie. Not a big problem. It's just getting dark and eerie. Whenever I hear, noises in the trees and stuff, it's just like, where is everybody? Where is everybody? But they're done. That's where they are. But all right, let's wrap it up there. Coming down to the bottom of the mountain. That went pretty goddamn well, and I did it. Because this has been looming in the back of my mind. Not quite since I got to Taipei, but I think the first time I left the center, that I left like Ximen. Hello. Speak of the devil. One lad, a younger male fellow in a ball cap with earpods in. So I'm not all alone. Look how fast he's going. Oh, those young knees. Oh my God, the cartilage. So jelly. But yeah, pretty much the first thing I saw as soon as I left, because you can't get a good overview of stuff necessarily from Ximen and from that whole neighborhood, because it's hard to see outside of it. But once I did get outside of it, pretty much the first thing I saw on the horizon was a big ass mountain. And I was like, now what the fuck is all that? And then I researched and I'm like, oh, it's a whole national park. And he's got a flashlight on his phone. Maybe it's getting darker than I think. Maybe it's just been getting darker without me realizing, but that guy ahead of me, he just broke out his phone light. His torch. Not a real torch, because that's not allowed. Don't burn your spirit money. But anyway, yeah, I've been up there. I've been up there now. Cool. Theoretically, I could go up there again on a clearer day. But if I never do, if I don't get my shit together, that's all right. I did it. I did it the one time and I liked it. It was really cool. So thank you for listening to another episode of Taipei Adventures. The Queen's Head is up next. That's the next thing on my docket to go check that out. So if not next episode, I'm sure it's coming up soon. I hope you will enjoy. Thank you for listening. Adios.